Leo, it's a spectacular time in your life right now. I'm going to animate this chart for you for February 2024. But I want you to realize that although we're talking about this month, this transit of Pluto, look at it, it's just moved here into this 7th house of your horoscope. This is a key factor relating to relationships, marriage, long-term partnerships, not just of an emotional nature, but also of a business nature as well. So, when Pluto moves in, everything else has to take second place. This planet does a lot of work, especially internally. It eliminates what's unnecessary in your life. There you see Mercury also moving into that position with the Sun and Pluto. A lot of planetary weight in this western part of your horoscope, especially in the first half of the month of February. Now this transit, although it's for February, can last 10, 12, 14 years. So don't expect this to happen overnight, although I suspect you're going to have a sense of what's going on in terms of your relationships right now. And you take a look there on the 10th, the new moon also transiting here in this key relationship sector of Aquarius, the opposite sign to Leo. A fresh approach perhaps to the way you've been relating to your loved one. A new perspective on how to deal with people, how to communicate with them. You see this combo here, Mercury, Pluto. That's a very important combination for a radical shift in terms of the method of communication. Mercury rules your finance sector. That's the income sector, second, and the profit sector, the 11th. So in this angle, the 7th angle, which is the foreground, it brings its power to the fore. And then of course you have that Mars transit there on the 14th or 15th. That's not particularly easy for Mercury. It can make you rather hot-headed. And if you're looking at some sort of new change, as we've just mentioned there, with the new moon in your 7th house, then you've got to be careful that you don't come across too strong, you don't come across as too demanding. That whole attitude is sweetened considerably here around the 17th with the entry of Venus into that area, and then also having been in a good aspect to the moon in the air sign of Gemini around the same time. Up until the 18th, you can see those blue lines there creating very favorable support for these 5 planets. That's called a stellium, up until the 19th, and then the Sun decides to move out of that area, still bringing its attention to the area of intimacy. The 8th house has to do with intimacy. We can see there with the placement of Saturn, that can sometimes restrict those expressions of love, sensuality and sexuality. So the communication planet here may be addressing some of those issues at this time. And those communications can also relate somewhat to money. The 8th house is the money that you share with others, who pays for what, how you pool your resources. That's particularly pertinent if you're in any sort of business arrangement. You'll notice around the 24th here, the moon enters into your 2nd house. Speaking of finances, we have this full moon taking place here, which is going to trigger the financial aspects. Notice here, Mercury in tune with that full moon. So this is a very important conjunction. Discussions with bank managers, with your superannuation or 401, getting better interest rates, borrowings, annuities, that sort of thing. Also, this 8th house has to do with inheritances or gifts or money that is owed to you, rather than this 6th house, which is money that you owe. So this is shaping up to be a very, very powerful month. I have more information for you, Leo, over at astrology.com.au. I've got a written up additional series of transits there to add a little more weight to what we've been speaking about here. I have dailies, weeklies, this monthly, and also the yearlies are out now. You might want to have a look at this in the context of the bigger picture. Don't forget to subscribe, and please don't forget to come back next month. I'll be here waiting for you. Take care now.